Just like I said, a breakdown in communication and just didn't execute real well. And so it's something you got to get fixed moving forward.
Obviously, the game isn't decided on one play, but do you take a little bit more ownership, and that's kind of the final play of the game, so special teams kind of break down there?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's on me. It's got to get fixed. And you got an opportunity. Offense drives down. Got a chance to tie the game. We don't get it done because we don't protect. Yeah, absolutely. Take ownership for it.
Blake also made a 50-yarder to be able to handle the situation versus freshman, and hasn't played a lot of games at this point. Has he done well for you guys so far?
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good kick for him. You know, some confidence that probably we needed as a team, and he did a great job stepping up in that environment for being one of his first atmospheres like that. I thought it was nice to see him make that kick.
Can it also give a kicker confidence that you guys had confidence in him to put him in that situation, and maybe he has confidence when he goes out there to kick it?
Yeah, I think so. But we talked before the game where he feels comfortable at, and he told me he felt comfortable to 50, and he did a good job. Credit to himself for giving me good information, and he went out there and executed. And proud of him for doing so.
Coach Oscar's had some nice punts in all 4 games now, too. What can you say about his development and how he's helped the team be able to flip the fields on the opponents?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is he's done a nice job of not only his distance, but probably his location. He's left maybe one in the middle of the field early on, that one against Wyoming, which was a bomb, but it was a little bit in the middle of the field. But other than that, even, the crowd sees the distance. I see the location probably more, and he's done a good job of that. So.
There were a lot of new faces who came in the kicking and punting cores this year. Have you ever experienced that as a head coach, where there's so many new players coming to Pullman in addition to yourself?
No, not necessarily. When I went to Bowling Green, they had a punter that was returning, and we had to replace a couple kickers. But here, it was all 3 having to get replaced. So it's just part of the process. They've done a good job, but we've got to continue to improve and really become more consistent. That's probably the biggest key with all 3 of them that I'd like to see us improve on.
I can't remember if you were here before Oscar was brought in. Were you involved with bringing him in here?
Yeah, I recruited him. Yeah, I knew about him a little bit prior to coming here. Never really built a relationship with him. I just kind of knew his name. And then when I got here and we got into spring ball, I thought that he'd be a guy that potentially could help us out. So.
How do you get to hear about a punter that's, obviously it's not a running back or quarterback, but they're maybe a little bit more under the radar?
Yeah, it's really just connections with different kicking coaches around the country that try to tap into those resources, and just high school coaches, and when you recruit any other position, that combination probably is the best way that I've found to do it.
Was he working with a pretty prominent punter kicker coach down there in Texas?
Yeah, well, not in Texas. It's more just there's a couple guys nationally known that kind of knew his name and put me onto his name early on. And then he does have a kicking coach in Texas too, but the way I found out was more of a national source.
His dad was also a pro soccer player. Can you just tell he has a natural leg and has power that punters don't just have? Yeah,
I think he's got a good leg, obviously, which comes probably somewhat genetically too, but probably more than even his leg that I like about him is he's a competitor. He's not just a kicking guy. He played soccer, he played other sports in high school, and I always think that's a positive, that position, if we can get it that way.
I don't think we've talked to you since Travell's kick return a few weeks ago. What is he capable of? It's just a freshman, and he has 3 years ahead of him to kind of break the all-time kick return record here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're only talking about one so far, so let's not get too far. But I think he's done a really good job of developing. He's a redshirt last year, and so his first couple games here, I think he's shown that he can be a weapon for us. He does a good job of reading it well, and then what he did on that one against Eastern Washington is, he made 2 people miss. We got him up to the fold player and the kicker. He made them both miss, and then he outran the rest of them. So definitely he's dynamic in that regard, and we're excited about him there.
How did the morale of the team seem today, two days after the loss there?
Good. I think they're ready to get back out on the field. I think that's the key. Get it out of your system. And the only way you can do that is get back on the field and get back to work.
Just real quick now, looking ahead, Utah, it seems like every year they've got a finalist for a kicking or a punting award. They're renowned for their special teams play. What can you take away from the job Coach Whittingham has done there in that area, and how might it impact your preparation going forward this week?
Yeah, they do a good job on special teams, not just their specialists, but across the board. They play hard and they're sound, and they'll be a great challenge for us in all phases of special teams. But to speak to their specialists directly, they're both very good. Their kickoff guy is really good. He's shown he can go both ways with his kickoffs. He can sky kick. kick. And then their punter, obviously, every year it seems like is a Ray Guy finalist, so he's really good as well. So we'll have to do a great job in all those areas, playing fundamentally sound, and give ourselves a chance in the field position game.
Oscar's led the country in net punting the last few weeks. Is that a goal that you guys talked about coming into the year? That's just a byproduct of his preparation and kind of doing his job?
I'd say both. Yeah, we try to set pretty high standards on special teams. Just because if you don't, I don't know, why you're even practicing and putting the work in. I want our guys to know why we want to do the things we want to do overall, and how it will lend us winning games. But then, yeah, to credit to him, preparation all summer and throughout spring ball, through fall camp. I mean, he did a